Check, check.
Hey, look at that. Good? Oh, and then you like broadcasted it. Like. This way. Perfect. I'll come over here so the camera can see the t-shirt.
Let me, I can adjust it just a second.
Is there a screen out there too?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's one on the side of the trailer.
Oh, that's great. Nice. This is a great setup. Holy cow. We should do this for events.
Whenever you need me,
That would be
I'll
incredible.
pull in.
Man.
So you don't need the lessons on how to talk into the mic. And hey, Kalispell, this is John with Red Quill Media. We are at the Northwest Fair and Rodeo. We're on Vendors Row, right across the street from Flathead County Search and Rescue. I am sitting here with Aaron Flint. Aaron is running for Congress and stopped by to have a conversation. Aaron, tell us what you're up to and give us a little introduction.
Yeah, John, great to see you. So, yeah, we live just a few minutes from here, so it's always good to come to the Flathead County Fair. We'll be at the rodeo tonight. We're going to be manning the booth over at the Flathead County GOP booth here from 5 to 6, so if anybody wants to come over and say hi and chat, I'll be there. But, yeah, we've been crisscrossing western Montana here. This is one of the most important congressional races here in the country in western Montana. Both national Democrats and national Republicans have this race in their targets, but I'm all about keeping the crazy out of Montana. You know, there's folks out there that want to turn western Montana into Portland, and we're fighting not only to make the Montana dream affordable again for everyday Montana families, but also to keep the crazy out of Montana and keep western Montana from turning into, you know, some of these failed left coast cities like Portland and others.
So there's a lot of stuff happening in Montana that, because full disclosure, I'm running for legislature in House District 81.
Thanks for stepping up and running and serving, yeah.
But there are policies that are being passed by the local legislature, or by Montana legislature, that we're just following the path of, we're getting on the train. And every state's done it, and it seems like we're going full speed ahead, and those states that have already done it are now rolling things back. How do we get people to understand that we can't win this with a 36% turnout in voting?
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's why I hope folks really understand the significance of not only this election, but all these elections, state, local level. You know, one of the biggest concerns we're all hearing about and we're all feeling the pinch on is property taxes. Well, why do we have such a big problem with property taxes here in Montana? A big part of that is that we've lost so much of our industrial base. Our timber industry's been destroyed. We've had mining opportunities by these out-of-state radical interests. And I think if we're going to make the Montana dream affordable again, we've got to revitalize our timber industry. That'll also help us fix our forests. You know, we're chewing on all this smoke that's coming out of Oregon and Washington right now. Also, I believe we can mine and manufacture in America again. And I think by supporting trades and trades education, that's how we're going to have high-wage job opportunities. That's how we're going to get these young kids coming up to fill these jobs that are needed, and then have some high-wage jobs that they'll be able to stay and live right here in Montana with as well. And that's how we're going to make the Montana dream affordable again.
You brought up timber, so I just had a discussion with District 1, Gunderson, Steve Gunderson.
Yeah, Steve Gunderson, great guy.
And he's running for
chair
Senate.
of House Resources Committee.
And
yep.
he was telling me, we were talking about the timber industry, and he says, did you notice that the same people that are opposing the data centers are the same people that opposed timber industry years ago and caused all those issues? What's your thoughts on data centers in Montana?
Well, I think when it comes to data centers, I think we've got to make sure that we don't allow these things to come here. If they're going to raise up our electricity rates, if they're going to consume all of our water resources, and generally foul our Montana way of life. And I also fully believe this, the local folks have got to have a say in this. You know, state lawmakers like yourself, it's got to be a local decision. We don't want the feds coming in here and having these blanket decisions. Montana folks need to make these decisions. But big picture, you know, we need the United States to dominate when it comes to cyber, when it comes to data. And when it comes to our economy, we don't want the communist Chinese controlling our data. We don't want the communist Chinese having superiority when it comes to cyber. You know, as somebody who served in the military for over 20 years, I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, served in Iraq and Afghanistan and elsewhere. I had a top secret security clearance, and so I understand just how critical it is. You go down to Bozeman, Montana, and we've got incredible research being done at Montana State University. We've got incredible veteran entrepreneurs that are creating these businesses, and we've got the Quantum Computing Alliance right there in Bozeman, Montana. They understand, and we understand, that when it comes to quantum computing, this is considered the next space race, and it's happening right now. We need to make sure that America leads and that we're in control of our own data, and we dominate not only with energy security, but with cyber security as well.
And I think that's the good point about that is if we keep it at home, then it's ours. Quit sending it overseas and letting all the foreign interests run our data and run our large infrastructure of the internet. How long you been at the fair today?
We just got here. We're just going to go man the booth over at the GOP booth, and then we'll hit the rodeo a little bit tonight. I'm going to go do a tour. Sam Nunnally, Sam Nunnally should get over here and talk to you. He's the fair manager. He's probably already been over here.
He has not.
Okay, we'll have to tell Sam to come over here. He runs this whole operation. He's served on the Kalispell City Council. Great local guy here. Very passionate about agriculture and Northwest Montana.
Did you do the tailgate out in the parking lot?
I did not tailgate, no, but that's a good idea.
We
should do that.
Rep Overstreet was running a tailgate party out there.
Was Greg Overstreet up here for the rodeo?
I think almost everybody's up here for the rodeo.
We got to touch base. So Greg Overstreet, for those of you who don't know, he's the guy who passed the legislation to make rodeo the official state sport of Montana. Now, some people might say, well, that's nice, but what does that mean? Well, what it means is this. You look at states like Oregon. We were talking about Portland. How there's some folks who want to turn western Montana into Portland. In Oregon right now, they've been the far left is pushing a ballot initiative to basically ban rodeo, to end production agriculture, and to ban fishing and hunting. And we know that there's folks here in Montana who get bad ideas from the West Coast and they try to bring it here. And so just look at that craziness. So with that being Montana's official state sport, I think it sends a clear message. Don't pull that craziness here in Montana.
That brings up one more point I'm going to make, and then we'll talk about the fair and some of the vendors and the food.
Yeah.
But so I have a hobby farm.
Nice.
Every year I call the butcher and he comes out. He kills and butchers on site. We passed a law somewhere in the past session and a half that I can no longer have a butcher come out and my butcher come out because they don't have a federal ag inspector with them. And even though they brought out a refrigerated truck and did everything right, so now I have to haul all of my pigs and all of my hobby animals all the way down from Helena down to Butte to have them killed and butchered. My point is, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in your local and state government, you're going to find out sooner or later because it's going to affect you. Taxes, property taxes, levies, ag, it all comes home to you if you don't pay attention.
If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Great example of that. One of the questions I've been asking folks as I've been traveling across western Montana and talking to folks in different business backgrounds is the question I've been asking. We saw this after COVID-19 is I had a listener on my radio show, Nancy in Roundup, and she said, I'm starting to hear this word allow too much. This is America, and so a question I've been throwing out there to folks is, what are you not allowed to do? What do we simply need to allow you to do? This is America. What are you not allowed to do? And you take, affordable housing. Well, why is housing so expensive? Well, 30% of the price of a home is due to big government regulations and red tape. So for those of you that are carpenters and electricians and plumbers and home builders, what are you not allowed to do that we need to allow you to do? What are some of these big government regulations and red tape that we need to pull back so that we can make it easier to build housing for working families like ours? Because it's very frustrating right now, so more government is certainly not the answer.
It's not. What's your priorities when you get to DC?
Well, the priority, I think one easy victory one very quick victory we could get is supporting trades and trades education. I was in Butte on Thursday and just had an incredible major endorsement. As a Republican candidate for Congress, I received the endorsement of the Carpenters Union. And we had some great support there from the Iron Workers Union as well. Tell you what, industry wants more kids coming up in the skilled trades. The unions want it. We, the people, want it. Moms and dads want it because they want their kids to have opportunities where they can become electricians or plumbers or carpenters and have a good job waiting for them without having a whole bunch of student loan debt waiting on the backside. And I think we can prioritize trades and trades education, because right now it's being discriminated against, and you've had the Federal Department of Education. They'll take our taxpayer dollars and fund all this woke garbage, but they won't prioritize trades and trades education, and I think that's a very easy victory we can get early on.
I think it's going to be a necessary victory.
That's right.
I think that AI is moving so fast and advancing so fast that everybody that was going into those technical skill or those colleges to learn all their tech and how to code, they're not going to be needed. You're going to have to know how to swing a hammer. You're going to have to know how to string a wire. You're going to have to know how to put a plow in the dirt in order to make a living, because you're not going to do it sitting in front of a computer anymore.
Well, some might. I think, but you just hit on something huge here, which is when we talk about trades and trades education. You know, I interviewed Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe was in Great Falls, Montana, back this past fall. I had him on my radio show at the time, and Mike Rowe, he talked about how he had 35 different CEOs all in one room. And they were all telling him, hey, we've got six-figure job opportunities in automotives, automotive mechanics, you name it. And they asked Mike, they said, where are the workers to fill these jobs? And Mike Rowe told them, he said, they're in the 8th grade. And so that's why we got to prioritize. We got to get a shop class in every high school, or if we don't have a shop class in that high school, there's a shop down the street in your town. Get the class in the shop. And there's so many creative things that we can do with this, but the other big picture is why we need to support trades and trades education and giving kids more opportunities in the skilled trades is because these trades jobs are the jobs that China can't steal and AI can't replace. And so you hit the nail on the head with the sense of urgency here.
And it's going to be urgent. I think as a business owner, it's so hard to find employees or get people that want to come to work. And we're going to get to a point, if we don't train our kids, if we don't bring our kids up to want to work, to want to do a skill or trade, we're going to be lost. I mean, we've got to get something done.
That's right. I'll say this too. You know, let's drive about an hour from here right now, and you'll get to Libby, Montana. Beautiful town, great people. Was just there for Logger Days. Was just there for the rodeo in Libby as well. They used to have 3,000 kids in their schools in Libby. Now they only have 1,000 kids in their schools in Libby. And yet they're surrounded by wealth, surrounded by forest resources and forests that desperately need to be managed. And they've got a potential copper mine in Libby that if we get that copper mine up and running, you could rewire the U.S. electric grid 2 times over. What do you think that means for energy affordability and for high-wage jobs? But also, you know, you think about if Libby went from 3,000 kids in their schools to now only 1,000 kids in their schools, of the 1,000 that remain, what are the high-wage job opportunities waiting for them so they can stay and raise a family and maybe have a pontoon boat to enjoy the weekend? We get a mine up and running. We get our timber industry back up and running. Those are the type of jobs that families can stay here and live here and afford to work and play in Montana as well.
So let's talk about playing in Montana. How many years have you been coming to the Kalispell Fair?
Oh, man. Gosh, first as a little kid back in the 80s.
What is the one vendor, if you had to pick one vendor that you remember as nostalgic,
man.
when you walk down this row and you're looking left and right and you're seeing all the vendors, which one brings back the most nostalgia?
I can't think of the one vendor, but all I can think of is cotton candy. When I was a little kid in the 80s, it was cotton candy. It just melts in your mouth. And now my daughter's, what's that? The Sons of Norway. Okay, my fellow Scandinavian wife is yelling, Sons of Norway. Yeah.
So one of the most answered when I asked that is the big red chair. Everybody remembers the big red chair.
Yeah.
It's been there for, I think, 15 or 16 years now.
Yeah.
And the other question is food, which you already said cotton candy, but What food do you come to the fair for?
Well, you have to get those corn dogs. And mustard only. You got to do mustard only. You know, no ketchup, mustard only at the corn dogs. Yeah.
Did you catch any of the 4-H stuff this morning? Or
We did. We went through the roosters. There's some crazy roosters in there with like furry feet and everything. It's.
Did you see that turkey that's about 7 feet wide?
I didn't see I missed the turkey, but there was a couple of big fat geese in there.
There was a huge turkey. That kid did some work because
there was a brown bunny that looked like a teddy bear. That was the softest. It looked like a golden, a golden or a yellow lab just sprawled out. It was just the fuzziest, softest rabbit I think I've ever seen.
I think one of my most favorite thing about the fair is coming in, seeing all the 4-H kids, all the hard work they've put in over the year, and then watching them go up in auction. Even the indoor auction. I've kind of stayed away from the livestock auctions because I get myself in trouble and I end up going home with 4 pigs and 2 sheep and a cow that I have to figure out how to store for the rest of the year. But if you haven't gone through and seen the 4-H kids, go through and see some of their projects. Support that's what this whole county fair thing is about, is supporting those 4-H kids.
That's right. Hey, and I'll tell you the numbers that come out of it, the support that's shown in this county. You talk to the Flathead County Commissioners, massive support for these 4-H kids and for the livestock sales and everything. And I think that shows that folks here in the Flathead and in western Montana just truly value and appreciate our western way of life. It also shows a lot of people. I was doing one of these candidate forums, and we were down in St. Regis or Superior for one of these candidate forums, and one of the candidates for another race said that ag is not that big in western Montana, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I was endorsed very early on in my congressional race by the Montana Stock Growers Association, so grateful to have their support and such great support from the ag community. Beaverhead County in southwest Montana has the highest number of cattle of any county in the state of Montana. And so for people who say, oh, ag isn't that big in western Montana, my grandma Joan taught me how to cuss, and she would say, oh, for Pete's sake, on that one.
All right. I give everybody the chance to have the last word. So you can close us out. What do you want to tell everybody about your campaign and what they need to do to support you this November?
Well, thank you much. Thank you so much. And John Looney, go show support for his legislative race as well. But, go to flintformontana.com. Aaron Flint, fifth-generation Montanan, combat veteran, Iraq, Afghanistan veteran. And really, I'm fighting to make the Montana dream affordable again so our kids have opportunities here. And check us out. Go to our website, flintformontana.com. I've never had a TikTok account myself, but our campaign set one up. So for the kids out there, if you just search Montana, is it Montana AF? Montana AF on TikTok, or search Aaron Flint. Let's see, at Aaron Flint on X, Aaron Flint MT on Instagram, Facebook.com/Flint Report. And we'd love to see you too as we're traveling all across western Montana. But let's keep the crazy out of Montana. I'm running against a very far-left socialist endorsed by AOC. He was a lobbyist for the craziest of crazy stuff. I'm an everyday Montana kid fighting for everyday Montana folks to keep the crazy out of Montana.
Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. That's what we do here at the booth. If you have questions or you want to be on air, just stop by. You can sign the release there, and we'll put you in the trailer, and we'll talk to you. We're in the Red Quill Media booth at the Kalispell Fair. It was wired by Liberty Networks out of Helena, Montana, and Steve LaPrame did all of the wiring and put all of these cameras up. And if you recognize the name Steve LaPrame, then you're paying attention.
That's right. Yeah, his son's a combat veteran. So
and Steve is running for Senate District 71.
I forget the number, but I know he stepped up to run. So Steve, thanks for running, and his son Wyatt is a fellow veteran as well, so thanks to Wyatt for serving his country.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you guys very much. And you're a veteran as well?
I am.
A veteran as well. Which branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Army. What'd you do in the Army?
I was a Ranger.
Oh, my goodness. Holy cow. Yeah. Is your back still feeling it?
It was feeling it when,
it's been feeling it for a long time. Well, God bless you.
I burned in on a jump one time.
I had a few tough landings at Fort Harrison myself. Ooh, man, but God bless you. You Rangers lead the way. So thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right. All right. Hey, that was fun.